at all that water. That was all going in my basement. It ain't going in there no more. Dry as a bone. It ain't pretty, but I'll make it pretty next. So this is our 130-year-old house. There's a crawl space under most of the house, but they did an addition at one point and put a basement kind of on the back. And the basement was really the only foundation issue we had. As you can see from the picture, it is wet. So water is just flowing into it. There's a sump pump right over to the right, and it just goes into a big hole in the floor, and then it sumps out into the sewer system, the house's sewer system, which is not ideal. And then that wall straight ahead right there is actually bowing in because so much water's on the wall that it's just pushing the whole wall in. So pretty major foundation issue and huge water issue with humidity. The whole house is just humid because all the water is just staying in the basement. Got to get it fixed. This was a mess yesterday, so the Olshan guys cleaned out all the trash and got it cleaned out. And then they're going to cut the concrete out all around this wall up to there and put a sump pump in the corner. And then they're going to put 3 beams to keep this wall from bowing in further. They're also putting piers underneath the house, so you can kind of see that. And they set on these pads, and they just under the main support beams of the house. Because right now it's just rocks. So these are just backing up the rocks. So you can see they've got a couple of those already in. And there's another one back underneath there. That's what they worked on all today. Let's go down here and see what's going on with this area. Wow. And more jackhammering to go. Because they've got to cut the rest of all this out too. But that's where the sump pump's going to be. And that's where the old sump pump was. I'm going to turn this off because we don't care about that. And then they're closing off the other space. So I can't even see through there anymore. Before, dehumidifier, sump pump hole, sump pump. That's industrial grade right there. After, trench with buried drain tile into a sump pump. Look how nice that is in the concrete. With plastic on the walls so that any water coming in goes down and into the trench. And then piers that go into the concrete and then into the bracing the floor joist above to basically hold this pier here so that if this wall tries to come in anymore, it hits this and does not cave in. But shouldn't cave in anyway because all the water that was forcing the wall to cave in is now going to just flow down the wall and into the sump pump and get pumped out of the house. So that's very nice. So that's going to stabilize that wall. And they're going to fill that hole in for me. They're very nice. These guys are great. And then we're just going to clean the rest of this out, paint it, and this will become a workshop. A very dry workshop. Put a new door on, metal. So I'll demo that out and get an estimate on that. And then that'll get the basement wrapped up. This was our big foundation issue. We thought. That was the concrete foundation issue. And then what I've been working on, which is way over on that side of the house, is the corner where the seal had rotted out from the electrical problems. Regardless, this place is getting buttoned up. And then they're sheeting the entire and covering, encapsulating the basement space, the crawl space. And then there'll be dehumidifiers running in all of this to keep the humidity normalized. Right now it's very humid because it's been raining for 2 days. And I think they've been spraying water down here, so it's really wet down here right now. Very exciting.
They really should have let us do this beforehand.
So it's been raining for almost 24 hours. And the basement is completely dry, as expected. The sump's been kicking on, even though it's not plugged in yet, because it runs on backup power. So water has been getting down because there's a big puddle out by the sump pump. So water has been getting behind the wall, but it's all getting pushed out. It's really good. I just saw the sump pump kick on. So you can see it just pumped out a bunch of water right there, and it's rolling down the hill. And it's all running on battery because it's not even plugged up. Now, I have not seen the gutters. I've not seen the little pop-up drain occur yet. I don't even know how that works. But they rerouted the gutters into an underground, and it should be a little pop-up, but I have no clue how the pop-up drain even works. Maybe it just pops up every once in a while once it gets enough water in it. But the sump pump is working. So there's the sump pump turning on again. I'm actually going to go plug that in because it's a lot. There's a lot of water coming out of it. So I was just down here and it just turned on. It's very quiet. And it's off. Let's see if it popped out. Yep. It's working great. There it goes. Water's running out. So that got that fixed. So we got the sump pump and the gutters fixed. No issues. It has been raining like crazy tonight, so I'm glad we got it fixed. I'm going inside. All right, I've not been into the house yet since they did all the work, but I've got to get the dehumidifier plugged in and turned on. They set it up. I just didn't have a plug run, so I've got my plug run now and I'm going to go set it up. So I'm going under the house for the first time. I don't even have to wear my protective gear because it's all clean and tidy. Look how tidy that is. I just have to go through this hole. So I got my ladder set up. This is the hole they went in and out. I figure if they can go in and out it, surely I can. It's bigger than the one on the side of the house. I've got my cords run. I'm ready to go plug everything in. First I gotta go through this hole. I'm not excited about this. Not in the least. It looks taller than it is. My problem is I don't know how I'm gonna get back out. Oh man. It's just not as big as you would imagine. That's what she said. Over there is the door that I came in last time, straight down through there. So all the sewer and everything has been replaced. They've put in these big steel support members throughout. And then they built they dug it out where you could crawl underneath there to go up to the front of the house. You can't really see it, but I can. The whole front of the house has been covered as well. But my job today is to get this thing plugged in. So they've got a dehumidifying unit and then one of those condensation pumps. And they've got it going out the side of the house way over there. They've got it going out the side of the house over there, and I'm not really keen on that. I'm probably going to reroute that and take it and push it out of my sump. I'm doing this in lieu of having an electrician come to run a real plug underneath the house. I may do that later, but for now this is just to get me up and running. All right, and this will work. Let's see if I can get under here and turn this on now. So it's set on 40 relative humidity. It's 57 down here now. So let's run it for a while and see what happens. It should be 40 overnight. I don't like being under here, so I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna make sure, I think there's a filter in it. I think this is an extra, but I wanna make sure the filter's in it if it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna go in and go over on this other side and pull this. And I'm gonna pull this, I'm trying to pull this off. Like I said, I think there's already a filter in it. Yeah, there is. Clean or replace yearly. So this is really the first time I've been under the house. The guys said it looked great, and I agree. There was no water problem down here before, but it's definitely not one now. And it's just easier to get down here because it was so freaking dusty. I mean, the plumbers were under here for a week, and it was just dust, dust, dust. So now we don't have to deal with all that. And it's kind of insulated up around the edges, and everything's wrapped. It'll keep the moisture out. The dehumidifier will keep it dehumidified. I feel good about this whole under the house. It is buttoned up. Big, huge project. Spent a lot of money, can't even tell it was done. And then the way I monitor it is I have this down here. It's just a indoor-outdoor thermometer, and it's got a hygrometer on it. And I just leave it sitting down here. And it tells me the temperature. You know, I know my temperature inside my house. The same device tells me that. And it measures the humidity in the house. And then I know the temperature in my basement and my crawl space. And I know the humidity down here. So I'll go check and make sure it matches. I think that said 56% humidity, which I think is what upstairs had already said. So I'll just make sure they're saying the same thing. And that's how I'll keep track of it all. But that unit should, we left this open. It's going to dehumidify the crawl space and this space. And it's been running for 2 days solid, and the sump pump's been kicking on. And it's dry as a bone down here where it was not dry as a bone before. So I've got to get those wires hung up, done a little nicer, but for now it's up and running. So I think this project's pretty much done, thankfully. So now we can use our basement. It's going to become tool storage. I'll keep all my stuff charging when I'm not needing it. And then we'll put a little workshop in down here where we can paint, trim, and do things that we need to do. And I have a light. I just forget to turn it on, so I just use my little shop light.